anything that you may want to confess tonight before you go in?
I keep everything right here. Or right here.
Obviously, she didn't want Puffy to go to jail. Why all y'all wishing jail on Puffy? Not one time did that girl call the police on P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Brother Love. Not one time. I know a lot of relationships. All they do is fight. Fight. Sometimes, man, I know, man, in a relationship so long, man, start a good fight so he can do some good. And after nigga get tired of good, what go back to doing? Some good fight. Especially a lot of toxic relationships. They rap about it in the song. She is sexy, red, glow, real of them. Talk about them toxic relationships where, you know, you beat him, he beat you, all that kind. So all I'm saying is...
In New York City, defense attorneys for Sean Combs began their cross-examination of his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
These text messages definitely show kind of this eagerness to participate, the desire to be in his circle, the desire to be loved by him.
Please read this 1364.
I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rush me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention.
You wanted your special time with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Next question I was going to ask, could Cassie be charged? Will they charge Cassie? Because from what you're telling us,
dramatic audio was played in court today that people are saying is going to help Diddy out. Day 5 of the Diddy trial, Cassie is still on the stand, and today they played audio of her threatening a DJ.
it was like
Baby girl was the number 2.
No, she was number 2, and she was setting
told y'all
up
that yesterday. Yesterday I said she was G Money and Diddy Nino Brown.
The freak offs, and she allegedly supplied some of the drugs. That's what it seems like they're saying. So could she be charged as well?
They were getting high together. That was dope fiend. That's the dope fiend relationship. Man, they blowing, smoking weed, Ciroc drinking, on one another. So don't act like she wasn't down with the freaking. She was down with the freaking too. She was, man, that hoe was taking, man, he wasn't making her do that. That shit fun for her too. It just wasn't fun when the coin flipped. It's always two sides of the coin now. She wasn't complaining about the fun part. So no. The rain falls on the just too, just like the sun shines on the unjust. And I'm just saying.
This occurred in 2014 when a man alluded to Cassie that he had seen a schmexual video of her. This man apparently told Cassie that he actually had possession of this video. She didn't know what the contents were, and he was refusing to tell her. She was heard saying, "I will kill you if you don't tell me right now."
So
how did they debunk that?
So they basically asked her, they said, hey, you remember yesterday you testified that you stayed in your home and you were upset and that Puff had allegedly left from a freak off and blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, yeah. And they said, well, do you remember the date that you spoke to the prosecutors and you told them that you were forced to get into a car? You were crying, you were upset, but you didn't have a choice according to you, right? Like you were like basically forced to get in this car to go with them to run into Suge Knight. And she was like, I never said that. And they said, oh, okay, well, we have the transcripts from your interview with the prosecutors right here. She pauses for a moment. She said, I don't know why this would say that because I've always said that I didn't go. I had asked some questions about that yesterday to a source who told me that they had heard that there were some conversations about immunity, which would only make sense. But they can't 100% confirm it, but I'll have that by Monday.
I gotta ask some questions. Now, I usually see no need to preference something, but I understand the trickiness of cases like this. But that's the first time that I'm hearing that it was hundreds of freak-offs. Now, my stance on this is that after seeing the beating video in that hotel room post-freak-off, Diddy is absolutely an evil, and a freaky man. But we must put into the court of public opinion, hundreds? If you said ones, tens of, maybe even 50, but hundreds? Well, I do believe that Diddy is a monster. Are we saying that she's completely innocent in partaking in hundreds of these things?
Well, you polite savages, two things could be absolutely true. She could have been a willing participant in these freak-offs. She could have been the queen, the Bonnie to his Clyde. She could have been the person calling the shots, the number 2, not the head honcho, but the executive officer calling the shots. Only one she had to answer to is Puff. She could have also been a victim of DV when she had to be corrected when she didn't want to go through with it. You see, this is a nasty game we're playing. And when you get to the bottom of the rabbit hole, one thing is for certain, nobody's hands are 100% clean.
Or she was complicit, at least for some of the time. This was a 10, 11-year relationship. At what point can you not just leave? Just walk away. get out of the situation. But you did hundreds, 400, 500, 600 of these things? Or did you stay continuing to do this for some sort of purpose? Now again, Diddy's evil, but using your logical brain. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. All of my G's out there right now, go ask the lady in your life right now. Say, hey, babe, if I was doing to you what Diddy was doing to Cassie.
She said a lot yesterday and the day before that about how much they were using drugs. So some things may be a little hazy for her. She couldn't even remember some of the escorts and names that they knew that she had slept with, right? So
who remembers escorts' names?
No, she remembered a lot of them
because
they were using
they
were using a lot of them for a long period of time and taking them to different states. There was a time in 2017 where things were like super hazy, right? And she on the stand said, I really don't remember much from this time because there was something else that they were talking to her about, and it was just all over the place, and she wasn't sounding like she was telling the truth.
In this text exchange, Cassie says, quote, I want to talk to you about something tomorrow. Going to sleep, love you. Diddy replies, is it going to stress me out? What is it about? Cassie says, FOs, it can wait, it's not a big deal. Diddy then responds, now you don't want to do them anymore? Oh, I already know. You're so predictable. Cassie says, really? Since that's definitely what it was, we'll leave it at that then, since I'm so predictable. Have a good night. Diddy says, whatever, baby, I'm not going to play no games with you, and you ain't gonna keep shutting me down. Cassie replies, I'm not shutting you down. I never do. If anything, it's always the other way around. I wasn't going to say I didn't want to do it anymore. As they get closer to lunch, the defense attorney goes back to asking questions about Cassie breaking up with Diddy for good in 2018. The final straw was after she found a picture of Diddy with Gina, and in a text she said, quote, I don't need you to be taking, I think that's supposed to be care, of Kim and Gina. I needed you to put me first. In another text, Cassie said, I promised myself I wouldn't be with you anymore if you did that to me again.
So the entire narrative that Cassie had to get away from Diddy because of the freak offs, because of abuse, because of this, because of that is all 100% lie. You see, this is the ethos of the modern woman. She was okay with the freak offs as long as she got what she wanted to get. Now was to be his number one, to be the person in a pole position, to have all of the money, all of the status, all of the glamour. But what she was really upset is that Diddy would not keep his member in his pants. He wanted other women. He was going to take care of other women. He wanted a harem, and she didn't want a harem. She didn't want to share the man. So what really happened here and what really went down, according to this testimony, is that she wasn't tired of the freak offs or the abuse. She wasn't worried about her safety. She was upset that Diddy wanted somebody else. Damn. Polite savages.
You are a parasite who leeches off
just like you,
the culture of drugs.
Excuse me.
What?
I got the shotgun. You got the briefcase. It's on the game though, right?
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and modern women alike. This Diddy trial is one for the ages. Bussy back shots and baby oil, and Cassie coming down, looking around like she's the number two. Not the El Chapo, but at least El Capo. Man, what can you say? We thought she was innocent, but it seems like she was there to play. And has her testimony left her in legal jeopardy is the question everybody should be asking themselves. Because one thing is for certain, she was in it far more than she led on. And as always, the only thing we can guarantee is tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. And sometimes the truth is a dirty, bitter pill. Gotta wash it down with some baby oil and a little take that. So there's nothing left to do but get on up into it. Are you ready? Well, let's go.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
And jumping right in, the defense attorney has Cassie read a text she sent to Diddy after the hotel incident. She said, quote, when you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. However, a couple days after the hotel incident, Diddy asked Cassie to engage with him, which she says she thought was weird considering what happened. And so she replied to him, we need a different vibe than Friday at the Intercontinental. To which Diddy responded, F Friday, I don't even want to do that again. And Cassie responded, LOL, true.
What I find quite interesting is that even after the events of the Continental Hotel where Cassie was obviously brutally beaten, she agreed and talked about another freak off with Diddy, as long as the vibe was different. You see, what I believe is going on here, and I can only surmise, is that she can only find this thrill, what she wants, one place. She's only found the degeneracy that she needed in one place. So, like anybody who's has the sunk cost fallacy where they've gone so far and they can only get the satisfaction they want from one place, they believe that a little pain must come with the pleasure, almost as if you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. And no one's saying that she deserved to get beat, but obviously Cassie is looking like a willing participant via her own testimony.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
How would you recover from a freak off? Recover from a freak off. It's crazy. Hey. Then she was asked, how often did you take opioids after freak offs? Often. I got urinary tract infection. Now, UTIs is common for women. Like, that's a lot of bacteria up in there, and that just means they was doing all types of stuff with all types of people raw. Were the UTIs painful? Cassie says very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore. So that means you're prone to UTIs. Oh, Lord.
Ventura says, I asked which hotel. I must have called him in between. I don't want to assume anything. Esteveo asks, he said Montag. You said you could also go to Pleasure Chest. What would you get there? And Ventura says sexual supplies.
We can't even show you the clips about the VD, the patrol, and all of the other nasty things that we uncovered. YouTube policies will not allow it. And you polite savages, one thing is for sure, this whole trial is full of snakes in the grass, slithering around, striking people in the back, and nobody's saying Diddy is innocent of anything. But one thing I will tell you is this: there has been zero evidence of trafficking. The prosecution is in a whole lot of trouble. He may have had the dream team, new 2025, Johnny Cochran coming back. He may even have to come down from the great heaven in the sky and slap Brian Steele a high five, because the way it looks right here, this prosecution is having a whole lot of problems with this newfangled dream team. And Cassie's testimony didn't do much to help. In fact, it made her look like she was dang near a willing participant. But at the end of this all, one thing is absolutely for certain: there is no winning. The best that Diddy can hope for is not to spend the rest of his life inside the clink. Did the feds overreach? Have the feds overcharged him? Overplayed their hand? Have they decided that they had to get this man for one reason or the other? What's the power? Who's behind the curtain pulling the levers? Because something just seems awry on this one. And we're not Diddy fans here. Absolutely believe he's a scumbag here. But one thing I'll say right now that's very clear: as of now, they're not making anything of a case for themselves. Diddy might walk. Damn.
Sex trafficking, like, what is it that he's doing? Like, I just want to understand.
So let me read the definition first and let's break it
Perfect.
down. This is the definition from the United States Department of Justice. And it says it's the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, obtaining, patronizing, or soliciting of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act in which a commercial sex act is induced by force, fraud, coercion, or if the person is under 18, then that's something different.
What is a commercial sex?
So I'm looking at the charges, you know, like, because I understand what like racketeering is and sex trafficking and coercion. And right now, this thing with Cassie is like they're really trying. This is not what the charges are about.
Yeah.
But what the charges are about early is painting a picture.
Of course.
Of what, you know, Diddy has done,
yeah,
and what kind of person he is, and what he's capable of. You know, and by no means is this right. By no means am I like
defending
supportive of it.
Yeah.
And you know, these are just the facts that are coming out of the case. This is really a black eye on the culture.
When this nigga makes a bunch of money, we automatically, and we did this the other day, I wanted to bring it back up the other day when we started talking about black excellence, when we was talking about the puff-ish, we immediately put this moniker on somebody that they are black elite and they are black excellence because they've reached a certain level of success monetarily. These niggas don't be black excellence, they just be rich black people.
24, it's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all.
Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question: can you handle the tip? Boom, we're out.
We found true happiness.